Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is the camera review of the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1. By the way, this video is being recorded on the M1 itself. Now let's check out the camera specifications and some sample shots. On the rear, this phone sports a dual camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera with f2.2 aperture and a 5 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture used for depth sensing, along with a single LED flash. On the front, it sports an 8 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture and a dedicated soft LED flash. Now this phone looks like an extraordinary phone on the paper, but when it comes to the cameras, it's just average. It doesn't even support auto HDR for the front or rear cameras, and the company didn't even optimize the camera before they started selling it. Now this is how the camera interface looks like. It's an app from Snapdragon, which is simply functional. And by that I mean it just works. There is no auto HDR option, no time-lapse or slow motion. Asus might be working on a new camera app that is well optimized, but so far, we don't know when we'll get the new update, but till then, this is how the phone performs. These are some pictures taken with HDR on. Capturing speeds are pretty slow in HDR mode. It takes like a second or more, so you need very stable hands to take sharp images. Images look bright and colors look pretty good, but all images lack sharpness. Dynamic range looks good and colors are slightly to the warmer side. In bad lighting conditions, where we face a light source, images look slightly faded. On the whole, images taken in HDR mode look good but lack sharpness and capturing speeds are slow. Now these are some more sample shots with regular pictures on the left side and HDR images on the right side. Now these are some sample pictures taken with HDR off. Capturing speeds are not fast but better than HDR mode. Color reproduction is good. Images still lack sharpness, but color reproduction and dynamic range are good. Even while taking macro shots, I didn't have any issues with focusing. Now coming to the portrait mode, these are the sample pictures. Edge detection isn't perfect, but it's manageable. We can see a lot of mistakes if we look keenly. Even the blur effect isn't equally distributed. But for the base variant of 11,000 rupees, it is doing an okay job. Images are bright with good color reproduction, but edge detection isn't perfect. Now coming to the low light performance, images are a bit darker. Like any other phone in this price segment, they all lack sharpness. Colors look slightly faded, but noise is well managed. Once again, capturing speeds are slightly slow. Now coming to selfies, these are the sample shots. Front camera on this phone comes with a wide angle lens, so you get wider selfies. So that's an advantage over phones like Redmi Note 5. But the selfies doesn't look all that impressive. They are a bit dark with a faded effect and inaccurate colors. Exposure control is not that good. And even in good lighting conditions, it's not able to take sharp selfies. They do an okay job, but there are phones that take better selfies in the same price range. Now coming to portrait selfies, here are some sample shots. Portrait selfies are no different from regular selfies. They just have a background blur effect. Just like with the regular selfies, they look dull with faded colors. Edge detection is not perfect, but better than the rear camera. Now these are some selfies taken in very low lighting conditions. Even in low lighting conditions, selfies look dull, colors are faded, and it lacks sharpness. You need very stable hands to take sharp images. Exposure control is bad. Now coming to video recording, here's the sample footage. So guys, this is the video recorded using the rear camera at 1080p resolution, and the audio is from the phone itself, so you can check out the noise cancellation and stabilization offered by the phone. This video is recorded at 1080p at 30 fps. We can also record video at 4K resolution. Now all that sounds great, even the footage quality looks decent, but there's no stabilization, so the footage looks very shaky. Now with that said, it has good color reproduction. Colors look little saturated and a little warm. Dynamic range and exposure shift are good as well. Now this is a sample footage recorded in 4K resolution but downgraded to 1080p. So guys, this is the video recorded in 4K resolution using the rear camera of Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1. By the way, I'll be downscaling it to 1080p as this video is going to be uploaded in 1080p resolution at 30 fps. By the way, this phone doesn't have any option to change the frame rate, so by default all videos recorded will be shown or will be stored at 30 fps. So guys, this is the footage recorded using the front camera at 1080p resolution of the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1. That's really a huge name. So let's check out the video quality now. Now this is a sample footage from the front camera. So let me tell you what's good about this footage. You get a wider footage and that's all. Sharpness is bad, color production is okay, but it could have been better. Exposure control and exposure shift are bad. So for front camera video recording, it really sucks. So guys, to conclude, cameras on this phone are okay, but that's not the complete story. This phone might have good camera hardware, but the software is not optimized. Rear camera does a decent job, but the front camera looks really bad. Asus might improve it with a future update. But as of now, these are the results we get. Cameras were really good on previous Asus phones, especially the Asus Zenfone 3. So considering that, cameras on this phone are really disappointing. So guys, looking at the sample pictures, what do you think about the camera performance of this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you are planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description, it really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag ASKGREEDYTECH on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.